Hello everyone, this is Rebecca from Papeterie de Choix, and welcome to Thematic Thursday. Today we're going to be making little purse pockets from various size papers. Now I'm only going to make one, but I'm going to show you the different size papers that they could be made from to make these small type pockets. So these four are from the same size paper, and they are from, this is a paper pad that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. They're 4.5 wide by 6.5. So I just cut it in two this way, folded it up, and that's what made these four this size. And then this one is made from half of a 6 by 8. So I cut it in half this way, folded it, and that's what made this one. But you could also make them with 6 by 6s. So basically, if you have any rectangle piece of paper, and my measurements, I made these with doing something twice as long as it was wide. So it doesn't really matter the size of your piece of paper as long as it's twice as long as it is wide. So let me find my instructions, because I got all my supplies over here on the left side of me. Okay, so we're going to do one of these. It's another one of the small ones. So it's 6.5 wide, so I'm going to cut it at 4. You know what, I'm going to trade off and use this one instead. So 6.5 is 3.25 is half of it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is have a little, we need a piece like this, and then we need just a little strip, something roughly 1 inch wide and about 4 inches long. It don't have to be exactly that, but that does need to be the minimum, I would think. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is bring in the little bitty scoreboard that from the last video when I first used it, I could not see the marks. So I went through and put a mark under the full inches with the numbers up here, and then a dot over the half inches. And I thought, well, surely from that I can figure it out. So this is 4.5, so half of that is 2.25. So we're going to do it at 2.25. Score it, that is, at 2.25. And then we just give it a little bit of a fold. And you'll notice I'm not inking these. If I was doing these in a vintage theme, I would ink them, but these I'm not inking. So after you do that and just get your fold established on the bottom, come in and score again on both sides at 1/4 inch. And I'm just making sure I hold my paper nice and still. Okay, that's good. Now let's move this to the side for now. So after you've done that, now this paper is directional. So figure out which side you want your front to be, and obviously you want the one that's right side up. So the next thing is to on the front side, you want to clip just above this little score line here and go all the way across to the one coming down. Then I'm going to trade scissors for this so that it's I can get one continuous line. Then you come just inside of it slightly, come up to that point, and then do the same on this side. Okay. Alright, then you want to just fold your little corners over, not your corners, but your little flaps, just fold them over like so. Make sure they're straight and just put down your back and just make sure that everything is lining up. And I've got just a little bit of something hanging over right there and right here. Okay, so the next thing, this is where the fun part comes in, or at least I think so. Take you whatever selection of corner punches that you have. And choose one that you think would look really good as your little, you know, the decoration. Now I've done this one, both of these. I've not done any of these, but these are too plain for me. So I'm going to put that one to the side. I think this one won't be big enough. I really like this one, so that's the one I'm going to go with. So just put that corner. Now it's a triple layer right at the edge, so you might have just a little bit of resistance, but just chop that little corner off, and there you go. So right now it looks sort of like a file folder, but the next thing that we're going to do, and I'm going to use a ruler because that's what I like to use, but that's how I like to find my middle. So, and actually I'm going to do it this way. So it should be 2 and 7, or 3/4 rather, right now. So let me find my pencil. So this is how I do fractions sometimes if my brain's not working really well. I'll do half of this, half of that, and then add it all together. So half of 2 1/2 is 1 1/4, and then half of 1/4 is 1/8. So it's gonna be 1 3/8. It's gonna be our middle. 1 2 3. Make sure I even count that right. Double check myself. 1 1/4 and 1/8. Yes. Okay. Then I'm going to come in. This is an 1.5 inch circle punch, and I just line it up with the arrow that's on the thing there, and I just figure out how deep I want it. And look, we got a little purse. I got a little bit of a frog in my throat. I was eating some grapes just a few minutes before I started filming, and one of them went down the wrong way, and so I'm just kind of still trying to get grape juice out of my lungs. Okay, so this is not the one I was going to use. Oh, it's over here. So the next thing you want to do is, I actually had another piece that I was going to use, but I don't guess it matters. I guess this is it after all. So the next thing is bring out the scoreboard again. And this is just a little piece of scrap, and this is just a touch over 3/4 of an inch, but I'm going to pretend it's 3/4 exactly. Now you can do this two ways. You can, if you have an inch wide, you can cut a little off of it, or you can fold it into four. I'm doing this sort of like I would do if I was doing a strap, if I was sewing, because when you're sewing and you want to make a strap, you would fold it in the middle like this, and then you fold those in the middle, and then you fold the whole thing over and sew around it. So I'm sort of doing it as if it were that way. It's much easier with paper because you just put the glue down and it sticks. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a quarter of an inch, and then at half an inch, and when I get through I will trim off the little bit that's left over because it is just a little bit more than, unless I can be brave and do it beforehand. Let's see if I can do it beforehand. Because I just need it to be 3/4, which is what that would be right there on that little bitty mark. Hot dog. Alright. So what we're going to do is fold it over like so, and then we're going to fold it over again. Now this particular paper, I put freezer paper on the back of it for another project I was doing, and this is just the little piece of scrap that's left over. So I'm actually going to put that one on the inside. It's a little more bulky. Put that one on the outside. And glue. When it decides to come out. And I might, since this is a little bit thicker than what I've been doing, I'm just going to run a little piece right down through here, just so that all the layers are stuck. And then I'm going to take it over to the iron, because you know by now I iron all my paper. So I will be right back. Okay, so let me put the lid on that before I mess up. Okay, so this part, just want to find the part that looks the best, that will be facing the front, because you're going to fold it sort of in the middle like this. And I guess I could have just left that open and put just a little dot of glue, about like that, on either end. Now, when you open it up to put this on, this needs to go on the back portion, not the one with the flaps, but the back one. And the way I like to line it up is I like to have this inside edge coincide with where the circle comes up to the corner of the straight part right there, for the most part. Now sometimes it don't always work, but that's where I try to get it. So what you do is you just keep kind of working with it until everything is stuck where you want it and how you want it. And for this I like to use a glue. I mean, I use PVA for most everything, but use a glue that you have a little bit of movement with. so that you can have some playtime. Now I'm going to press this with the iron. Pressing it with the iron just makes the glue set a lot quicker, and you can get on to the next step. Okay, then the next thing you want to do is put glue on this flap only. Don't let it go anywhere else. And just a little bit on that part there. And like I said, if I was doing a little vintage style purse, I would definitely ink the edges and use probably different paper and that sort of thing, because you can make these as decorated as you want with whatever theme you've got going on. So the next thing, you just flip it up like that and push everything in place. Now I'm going to hit it with the iron because that's what I do, but that will seal it. Now, as some of you might know, if you've watched some of my past videos, you know that I sew. And so I've been sewing since I was 16, which is 41 years ago. So back in 2017, I designed some purses and bags and things like that, and made them as gifts for my children, and I made a mother-in-law gift for my younger daughter when she got married, and made her a computer bag and a tote that she still uses. That was in 2017. And I've made my kids, or not my kids, but my grandkids, tons of clothes. But anyway, the point that I'm making is, when I was playing around with this, I thought, if I can design a bag from cloth, then I can design a bag from paper. So that's sort of where this idea was born. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to find a little button, hopefully, that I can put on here that, let me pour some out. That might make it go just a little bit faster. This is my buttons that are, I consider them pastel buttons. Compared to the other ones that I have, they are pastel buttons. But let's see. And I don't want to use the shanked buttons, because they won't really work. The other ones I can just glue down. I really would like a bigger one than that if possible. Let me look just a few more. See what I can find. Ooh, I kind of like that one. Sorta, kinda. This might be better though. No, not really. I'm going to go with that one. It's probably not the best one, but it's the best one right now. So the glue that I used for the other ones was this. I found it at the thrift store, and it works really well. So basically I just find sort of the middle. Which button was it? I've lost my button. Oh, was it that one? It was not that one. It was this one, I think. Well, it wasn't that one, but evidently it's going to be it now, because I just shoved it right down in it. So basically then what I did was just put this little bit of glue on, squished it down, and I just used my finger to get some of that off, and then it'll dry clear. and then as soon as it dries, it's done. So that's today's project. Super quick, super simple, and cute as a button. And just remember that you can use any size paper. Just recommend twice as long as it is wide. Get out your most decorative corner punches that you have and a circle punch, and see how many of these little things you can make. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon.